the studio was going to be a nice place to hang out for a while without anybody noticing. And there was just a lot of dog pee going on in there. A lot. It was awful, awful, awful. Anyways.
All right. I hate to interrupt the story about dog urination, which still did suck, and I can still smell it.
I can't smell it.
We are having some horrible technical difficulties this morning, and it is all in the streaming software. I apologize. All right, so there's people coming back in from YouTube. Facebook is not working for some reason, and I'm not sure why. I was going to do a test this morning, and I said, nah, it'll be fine. What could go wrong? And apparently I should have. Okay, so that's one. Okay, that's going to be a problem there.
Oh, wait.
Okay,
Still
so
offline. I don't understand.
okay, so we got Restream going one too many times, and we need to add a channel, and I'm gonna give this a try. I'm assuming I have to do this. All right, so Ingrid, I got to come over there. What a mess!
Are you gonna eat the rest of that?
I'm trying to get to my breakfast, and it's already lunchtime.
Well, I'm going to shut the hell up and get out of here.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm in the middle of a show. I apologize. But it's funny you should show up because our forklift died.
Oh my
Anyways,
God. It's the wrong colors, I think.
All right. Who do we have here?
Oh, hi. I'm Scott Taylor. I'm with Crown.
Okay.
he's a,
I've been called a lot of things at the end of that sentence. For sure.
Yeah. The pause there was a little concerning.
Dead silence. That's great. So you won't, yeah. There you go. Say that.
yeah, I can't. I'm in the middle
Sorry.
of a live show, so I
Understood.
apologize.
Understood.
We'll talk later.
I'll catch up with you later,
Yeah,
man.
thank you.
All right.
Live show, technical difficulties of all things. All right. I think we may be getting somewhere. Maybe, I would not be surprised if Meta, as they're called now, probably shut us down. Man, we need to go over some housekeeping things. This is driving me insane.
What?
Well, we're in the middle of a
peeing-
show.
No peeing here.
No peeing in the shop, middle of a
right.
show. You don't come interrupt me. We should have done blah blah blah. What a hell of a way to get this going. So but we're not going to give up,
So,
right?
Yes, and thanks everybody for sticking by. Cause
I just want to get my breakfast done. Yeah, great
Yeah,
chicken
you
chop.
left that unattended. I almost ate it.
So, anyways,
what do you want to talk about first? We've done the dog interlopers, so
yeah, I am so annoyed that Facebook's not working.
I know, but you're gonna have to let that go.
I'm gonna,
Unless you want to reboot the whole system.
which I don't want to do.
Nope.
I want to thank everyone that's here. This makes me so mad. I don't understand what's going on. So, do we carry on? The show must go on. Overall,
Overall.
Oh my god.
I even got.
Is that not getting old yet?
Yeah, no, it's not getting old. All right, so let's go ahead and get to
Overalls are
who is
really,
hitting
really
their
comfy.
mic. That is driving me crazy.
What's what?
Someone's hitting their mic.
You should have some Carolina Coops.
No, apparently I should have started drinking alcohol and not coffee this morning.
I'm in.
Of course, Nan is in. All right, so we got that going. I guess it was going to be bumpy. And so may I, since I have Evan here, can you please go inform Eric or anybody else at this time? I am never to be disturbed. I don't care if the frickin' president walks through here. Thank you. Holy cow. All right, guys, I apologize. And that ticking is driving me nuts. I don't know what's going on. I have a suspicion, actually.
I don't hear any ticking.
So then it could be, and then it might be my headphones. I don't know. We're going to try to get through it. All right. So thank you for everyone that's watching from YouTube. For whatever reason, it's not working on Facebook. I'm not sure why. There was one other thing I was going to try, and it might glitch for a second because we've just, at this point, got to figure it out. This is kind of like when we first started the show. I did change where I thought it would be better to run a Cat 6 cable and hook up to the internet. YouTube is a little jumpy today. It could be that I went off of Wi-Fi and I thought we'd be in the connection said it was doing better. So we might as well do this since we do have our loyal fans right there on YouTube. Please make sure everything's looking good, sounding good. I'm going to bounce back and forth, try to find out why. It just says it's sending data.
Yeah.
So something is not communicating right with Facebook.
With the Facebook.
And you logged back in.
Yeah, I redid it.
What
it.
about that little settings button?
Yeah, I tried that.
No, there's not much there.
And it's showing your profile, even though you picked
Yeah, it's Carolina Coops. It'll
Coops. Okay.
maybe Facebook is just not liking us, which it would not be surprised. I probably had way too many posts on my personal page this morning. They're like, oh, no,
Say something about Zuckerberg.
No, I didn't say anything about anyone other than
Yeah, never mind.
Happy Friday.
Okay.
All right, so let's go ahead and get started. It is going to
I'm
be.
so glad you're back.
Yes, thank you.
Non was saying how long you've been gone. How many weeks was it? 9 weeks.
Wow.
So no wonder you were worried about whether or not you were going to make it home.
I like that question already. We'll get back to that one. Because that's actually an interesting question. Because I had someone show up at the shop in New York and ask that very question.
The one that just popped up now?
Yeah, wondering.
A little angry.
Okay, well, the question is, what happened to the customers that have been waiting for Coops while you're out?
Here's a result from the web.
Oh, oops.
What is going on today?
While you're out pandering to your high
Isn't it
dollar,
pondering?
No, it's pandering
Pandering.
to your high dollar projects.
Oh, that sounds a little snippy.
It is snippy.
Is that passive aggressive?
Anthony
yeah.
Dibna, please explain. Are you being snippy? Or are you just being
Well,
sarcastic?
he's just thinking that you're putting all your eggs in your high end coops and not taking care of your other customers.
Yeah,
I guess-
production continues while you're gone.
So that's why I actually love that question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm very proud of what you two ladies just said. And everyone that works for us would agree. Isn't that the idea? That I can walk away from a particular department and not only is it going to continue running, it's going to run better.
You think it runs better when
Oh, I absolutely know it does. Oh, because, when you own a company, you kind of take it personally. So
that's good news for
oh,
Anthony.
absolutely. Pandering in
and for-
high dollar projects. So what is the definition of pandering? Yeah, I'm going to obsess over this a little bit now.
Well, here, I'll give you the definition while you
All
explain.
right, while
what
you're
you
looking
do.
that up, I can tell you I just spent
But that's a great answer. That
Huh?
things just continue while you're gone, and there's production in New York, and also some
you can say
some progress is made in North Carolina as well. So
A lot of progress in North
things-
Carolina.
Things keep happening when you're gone.
right. And 2 road crews now.
Right. And you have road crews that are devoted to road work. And when they're off or when they're doing this build, it has no effect on the regular production of the production chicken coops that are sold online or sold day in and day out.
So, okay.
The American coop, most commonly, and Carolina coop, Cali coop, those items keep going when you're away.
All right. So, Anthony, I appreciate the question. And someone does acknowledge maybe you're being a little salty. And if you're being salty because you might be waiting on something, I do apologize.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly
and
sure.
salty is a good word, too.
Yes, I can guarantee you, and I'm so proud. And I tell you, I have to remind Non a lot because, things don't go perfect. But our team, this is the best we've had thus far, and we just keep adding to it. And we get to be so picky now, thank God, even though there's a lot of people that don't want to work. Either way, they're kicking butt. Honestly, all things considered,
You do have a very good crew.
we do. So thank you. And speaking of crew, I have paid fully for a coop and keep being told it's being built. Okay, that's what I thought. Now, Anthony, that makes perfect sense. I appreciate it. I apologize about it. So here we go. I have paid fully for a coop. Thank you for your business. And keep being told it's being built.
Okay.
I have no idea. Would you like to find out? That's the point to this show. We are live. And if you're just joining us, we are live just outside of Raleigh, North Carolina. Appreciate your live streams time. You are welcome. So speaking of the New York shop, what's going on, Mackenzie? Let me make sure we can hear her.
Just checking out the bid schedule.
Yeah, I was
So,
gonna look too.
you know, okay, here it is.
Okay.
Yes, and I can tell you that we are busting our butts to get these coops out even faster without jeopardizing quality. And I do know there's a handful of customers that get frustrated, and I get it because, you know, especially if they're waiting, and I want them to get their coop as fast as possible. But the most important thing that we all know, and I preach this constantly, is communicate with the customers. We have the best customers. And if we communicate with them, they're like, okay, I get it. I know, especially COVID and all that crap. Just keep me in touch. Let me know what's going on. So we're going to use this as an example. Anthony, I don't know how to say the last name. He's waiting for his coop. And I can see how, as I'm out in Santa Fe, New Mexico, building, you know, these high-end luxury custom chicken coops, it's going to look like, oh, well, no wonder why I'm still waiting on my coop, which is not the case at all. So we're about to find out. We're about to find out what's going on.
Where
So
did she go?
Mackenzie's on it. She's right to the wall in New York. She is on it. So Anthony, please stand by. Thank you so much again for your business. Thank you for your patience.
I wonder Anthony, what kind of coop did you order?
Well, let's see.
6x8 American.
Oh, okay.
And is the
So-
American coming out of New York or North Carolina?
Well, it's a 6x8.
Yep.
Oh, it's a big one.
So
Yeah, it's a big
it
one.
is. Doesn't always account for extended times in production. In this case, given not that it's an excuse, situations with turnover and supply chain things. Roofing is ordered for the coop, so we should be at least in like the final stages. I know.
Okay,
It
so
was
let me
put
step
into
in real quick.
production.
Mackenzie, thank you so much. I just so put her on the spot in she has one of the most difficult jobs answering to these customers going, where is my chicken coop? Which I get it. And things have happened. And we just had a walkout in the shop in New York.
Oh, did you ever find the person?
Yeah.
Are they
yeah,
alive?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he finally told me he's alive.
All right. Well, that's good. I know that was your first concern.
Shouldn't even be laughing at the music, but it's funny.
The music's amazing.
I mean, we had Eric oversleep this week, and I thought it was rather touching that your first concern was, oh my God, is he in a car accident? Because he's never late. You know, and I thought, no, that's really nice.
Yeah, that sucked.
You were concerned about his safety before you were pissed.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then I was pissed. Okay, Anthony, we're going to get back to you. I apologize, but basically the answer is his coop is in the final stages. Yes, there have been problems. It doesn't matter. Again, our customers understand that problems do come up. All we got to do is communicate. I actually want to get it so we have a system. How awesome would it be as their coop is in production, it
That they can
automatically
track it.
updates.
Yeah, like you track a package, you can
We've
track.
been trying for that for so long.
We have. I know. We
Or
got
even some pictures.
so and Anthony, I don't blame you. So I appreciate your comment, appreciate your patience, and you are completely allowed to be salty.
That's right.
All right. Well, I hope that helps out. So Mackenzie, how have things been up in New York? What's some of the questions that are coming up so we can just get right into what the show is all about? Finally, 25 minutes into it, talking about chickens and chicken coops.
I don't know. There's so many things going on. I had a notebook with questions. Mind you, these notebooks, this notebook, that notebook, another notebook. It's fine. It's great. Everything's so great up here. It's snowing today.
Ugh.
Yeah. I have like my fuzzy boots on today.
Oh, overall, that's got to suck.
You know, I was scrolling through Facebook memories, and 3 years ago we had like a foot of snow right now. So we're not going to talk about that anymore. So I recently found out that pickles may have had a gender identity issue. So
And that
either
is-
Pickles is a hen that crows, or Pickles has a pickle.
So you got a rooster.
Yeah, but don't tell him,
Okay.
Is he? So he
because
is
I
growing.
don't want him to know. He's crowing. And
That's a
it's-
good sign of a
it's-
rooster.
Telltale.
It's extra obnoxious because he's a bantam.
Now, is it not true, though, once in a blue moon, you can have a hen crow?
yeah.
I've seen it myself.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like a rooster. He doesn't have pin feathers. He doesn't have like a comb. He doesn't.
Do you have a
bizarre.
picture?
It's
Yeah.
What kind of?
I
He's a
don't think
bantam
I
what?
have one very recently. Sea bright, golden sea bright.
Oh,
Oh, there's your
Yeah.
problem right there.
Yeah,
They're
those-
complicated.
tell.
Yeah,
They're
those
so
are-
snotty.
I don't know.
Those
Those
sea
are
brights,
gonna
they
look
think
pretty
they're
similar.
special.
yeah. They're beautiful though.
No, they
he's-
are.
And spunky.
Yeah, sea brights
But,
are beautiful and spunky.
Keep them.
Yes. No, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the only other bantam I have is bologna, and I don't want bologna to get beat up.
We'll see.
Oh,
Just
I love
see.
the names.
Just see. You never know. I love that chickens break rules.
yeah.
They break their own rules. So, I mean, you can say, oh, this will happen, this will happen, this will... And they'll break the rules. So, let's just wait and see.
All right. Well,
Chick-
let's get to some. We got a lot of
Yes.
questions.
Yeah, so this whole show, we're gonna have to start over from scratch. Yeah, I gotta find out. I think I know what is causing that, and it's they're hitting the line going to Non's office with the speakers. I guarantee. So I'm about to unplug if I hear it one more time. Anyways, Mackenzie, is there anything that we should talk about while we have you? Because we are running behind. We
Yeah.
got lots to cover, but this is your time to shine. And of course, as always, it's great to see you too. It's been a long time.
Yeah, I was supposed to be there right now.
Yes,
I
I'm
didn't.
glad you felt
So
the
I'm not.
burn. Yeah, Mackenzie's supposed to be here right now. Anyways.
Sorry.
Mhm.
Well, somebody just asked, do we ship our coops to Germany? And we do. I'm working really hard to find a global shipping company that is able to respond to our request in a timely fashion, because that's been an issue. So we do, as long as I can get a quote effectively.
That is so frustrating. We have had a huge spike in interest in overseas,
Yeah.
and I want nothing more than to continue being able to ship our coops overseas,
Yeah.
especially Australia.
And ship me with them. Yeah.
Australia, they
I'm
can't even
small.
Yeah.
they can't even get lumber, as they call it, timber. And
We're in Australia?
huh?
Where? Australia?
Yeah, so they
Well,
cannot.
they can't even leave their homes right now, so...
No, that's Austria.
No, that's Australia.
Well, Austria too. Okay. Anyways, so yes, we absolutely can ship our coops to Germany. What I can tell you is just shipping anything has been a nightmare, especially overseas, whether it's going in or going out.
Yeah.
I do know that once we get this shop up and running, I think I'm going to skip the West Coast shop and just my dream has been to go over to Europe and just set up a shop there. And that's going to make it so much easier to ship these scoops out. Man, I tell you, it stinks we don't have our Facebook audience. But if you're just joining us, welcome to Video Chicken. We had some technical difficulties, which I guess I'm not too surprised, but thank you for hanging with us. And just a reminder, this show is for you guys. If you have any questions, we will definitely do our best to get to them. I am so happy that they're coming in. But more importantly, tell us where you're watching from. We just love those comments. Love to see where people are watching us from. So hopefully, Mackenzie, you can figure out soon where and how and who we can use for shipping.
I have my feelers out. I'm working on it.
Yeah, if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be you.
Anyways, yeah, I have to bulldoze my way through things sometimes, and unfortunately, that's how I live my whole life. Anyways, what should I feed my chickens in the wintertime? Should I change their diet?
That's a good question.
That is a great question. We should definitely start talking about winter because it's obviously winter
Yeah.
in some places.
Yeah, absolutely.
Chicken expert?
Well, I would say absolutely increase their... Okay, so the chickens, I've found that they crave greens in the winter. And like they just go crazy for greens. I mean, I can bring a bag of lettuce out and they're just crazy for it in the winter, and in the summer they don't care because they usually have plenty of green stuff to graze on in the summer. So I actually grow and I buy green stuff for my chickens in the winter. So I think that's number one. The number one thing that I do in the winter that's different is I provide green stuff for my chickens, and I think it increases the quality of the egg. I can see in the yolk when they don't have access to greens and when they do, because the yolk gets much more rich and vibrant and orange when they have the greens. So
I just made the most yellow egg salad I've ever seen.
yeah, absolutely. So that's the biggest thing that I would say.
But normally they can still eat the same feed that they have. It's just whatever we do to supplement.
Yeah.
I find they go through more feed in the winter because there is less outside things to
Right.
eat.
Yeah, that's true.
So just check your feeders and make sure they're full.
Right. So
Yeah.
I grow here in North Carolina. I put out clover and ryegrass.
Yes, I saw that you did that here while I was gone.
Yeah. Just
Looks
in
good.
case you ever get chickens here, I wanted to go ahead and establish the chicken yard.
Hopefully very, very soon. And yeah.
I see my spreading, either my spreading was really bad or your soil is bad, but it's probably both.
I don't think the soil's very good here. So that's a
Yeah.
great question. Any other questions from up there, Mackenzie?
What's the best time of year to get chickens if I'm just starting a flock?
Okay, put your orders in soon for the spring.
I already have mine ordered.
Hit those-
Really? A lot of the hatcheries open up orders in December or January, but I think they might have already opened up for this.
hit those bullet points real quick, because that is a question we get a lot. And there is a very common, simple, and to me makes very good sense why it's best to get your baby chicks in the spring.
It's natural. I mean, you're not fighting Mother Nature. Mother Nature makes it so that chicks, the hens are laying more eggs. That is the natural time for them to have babies, the peak time for them to have babies, and it's because the length of the days are increasing, which makes for healthy feed. I mean, the chicks have enough daylight to feed enough to be healthy. And also, if you have your chicks in, let's say, by March, maybe April, you'll get eggs by Labor Day, and then they'll continue laying their entire first winter. There seems to be some cutoff around April, May, June, where if you don't get your chicks by then they're going to wait to lay eggs until January of the next year. I mean, that's very general, but in order to guarantee that you're going to have eggs all winter the first year, get them earlier in the spring.
Oh, it looks like we're on.
Yeah. So welcome, Facebook. I have no idea what's going on. I don't know what was going on,
Sorry, can you
but welcome.
Oh, yay.
stop?
I'm glad that everyone is back. But it is possible to have baby chicks in the fall.
It is.
You just have to think about mimicking springtime.
Right. You have to. It's helpful to add some supplemental lighting in the fall so that their days are long enough to get enough nutrition to be healthy.
Awesome.
But to start, it's just better do it in the spring.
Right.
Do it in the spring.
But I was corresponding with somebody who has broody hens right now and just has baby chicks. So sometimes you have to go with it, and it's not ideal, but it works.
Speaking of corresponding,
Oh, fertility on the eggs also is peak in the spring.
really?
It's just everything indicates that's nature's best time to reproduce.
That must be why I was born in October. Anyways,
I was born in April.
Okay.
fireball. Anyways, all right. Well, Mackenzie, thank you so much. We're going to move on. It was great to see you. Thank you again so much for holding it down up there. And again, please get back to that gentleman and any other customers. At the end of the day, again, I can't thank our customers enough, especially the ones that have been waiting. We are busting our butts up there and down here so that they don't have to wait so long for the coop. But more importantly, like I tell everyone on my team, all you gotta do is communicate. And there's, God knows, I've made some calls that I've never wanted to make, but customers always appreciate it, and that's all we got to do. So,
And Anthony, you will love your coop when you get it. That's
yes,
for
and he's in
sure.
northern Nevada and has to put his coop together in the snow, which is not fun. We've done that. It is awful. The worst one was Colorado Springs. Colorado's like -20. Oh,
I
That was
haven't
pretty
even
cool.
winterized my coop yet.
winterize your coop. We should talk about that. So let me let you go. We got so many things to go over and get caught up on. Mackenzie, it was great seeing you. You better get your butt down here soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. If it's gonna start snowing, we'll get there. I'll figure it out.
All right. Thank you, Mackenzie.
All right.
All right. That was Mackenzie, everyone. If you ever called our office, most likely you have talked to her. So thank you so much. So I see there's some questions and comments came in, but before we get that, I haven't made the official announcement yet
Okay.
that we've actually lost a couple employees recently. And the other one was our sales girl, Maddie, that was here, is no longer here. It didn't work out, unfortunately, but I knew I was taking my chances, especially relocating her from Florida to here. And, you know, she's a good girl, but she's young and she's just trying to figure out where she should be in life. And, you know, I can tell you, and I'm sure everyone that's ever worked for me, I will be on. I'm never going to try to hold people here and hold them down. That's the worst thing to do, but I hope the best for her. But who took over sales? Yay! I've waited so long for this moment. Our very own chicken expert, Kristen Warren, is now officially taking over sales.
And I'm back.
You are back.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah. I was doing it. The last time I was doing it was 2017. So
It's been a while.
Yeah, I'm back.
You've had some major up and downs in your life, but I tell you, we are all very thankful you're back, doing better than ever. And I know our customers and future customers are really, really going to appreciate it. So if you are interested in buying a chicken coop and you've been watching this show, not only do you be able to, you can hear the great advice from chicken expert Kristen Warren, but you also get to call here now and place your order through her. How's it been going so far?
good. I've been taking calls, doing emails all week.
You even got your own office.
Yeah, thank you. Until I
You're-
get booted out, but that's fine.
You're welcome. All right, so Ingrid was going to make a mention there, so we got to press on. Especially, I see some more questions
and
coming
Ingrid's
in.
back.
Well, yeah,
I
that
didn't
is
really go anywhere.
Yeah, Ingrid did not go anywhere, but she was. Well, I don't know how much I don't want to go into her personal stuff, but we are very thankful. I'm just so glad we're all back together again. Santa Fe, New Mexico. I thought that coop was never going to end. Speaking of that coop. I don't know if we can share some pictures of it, and I don't know if anybody has. There was a bunch of questions that came up, about that coop. There it is behind us, big, beautiful. There, Ingrid did just get the drone shots this morning, so there will be an official walk around video, I guess we call them. When do you think that might be available?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold you to it.
I'm not answering that.
Yeah, it's Friday, so let's say next week.
Next
Well,
week.
no,
Next week sounds good.
No, next
so
week.
maybe we
No,
can.
What?
Stop. First of all, it's Thanksgiving next week. It's a shortened week.
Great time for a walk around video. Everyone's gonna be home eating their turkey or
Do you know
whatever.
how much footage you gave me?
There is so much footage. I can tell you, this is going to be an amazing video because we got a lot of footage. And the biggest thing about this chicken coop is the husband was a structural engineer. And I learned so much from him. I was nervous. I'll be honest with you. I was very nervous going out there. But I, just like everything else, you want to be a sponge. If you want to be better, you got to listen to the experts. And I am one of those people that sometimes engineers can drive you nuts because they live in this fantasy world and they get to sit behind a desk and on a book and everything works perfect on paper, but it's not how it works out in real life. So the compliment of working with him out there was textbook perfect because he was one of those good engineers that I tell you, I loved every time he goes, "Oh, that's awesome. You guys do what? That really works." And it's just, we got all that on video. And we even did some structural tests. Even Evan was out there for a while. I think he was out there for 4 weeks. We did some structural tests. There's so much going on. And a lot of it was, again, if you haven't seen pictures over on Instagram or Facebook, whatever, it's wide open. I mean, you're 7,000 feet in elevation and the uplift with wind is incredible. So we got to dissect all those numbers. I mean, it was 40,000 pounds in concrete just to weigh this coop down, just to start off. Wow. Yes.
Yeah, it's a lot.
How many chickens are in there?
14.
14 chickens, yeah. 14 chickens. Oh, yeah, there's another great shot.
Do they free range?
No.
Okay. No wonder it's so big then.
I'll tell you what. I know we kind of laugh a little bit that we have to explain to people when they call to order a coop for the first time and they're all like, "Well, I got predators." And we're like, "Yes, everyone's got predators." I can tell you the West Coast, the predation out there, it is heavy, but it's changing. You are seeing nocturnal predators during the daytime. Coyotes during the daytime. Like you wouldn't believe.
Here too.
Huh?
Here too.
Oh, we're seeing coyotes during the daytime here as well now.
I know somebody whose dog got it. Well, somebody said that in the neighborhood whose dog got attacked by a couple coyotes. So small dog. All right, we're gonna get to questions.
Yes, let's get to some questions. I got things to go over. I got so much to talk about. But yeah, this is for them. Let's get to the questions.
Let's do a couple questions and then we can talk some more. Okay.
Okay, let's fire away.
All right. So this one woman whose handle is feta cheese.
Love that, by the way. Who doesn't love feta cheese?
She says, I live I would say on Long Island. I live on Long Island, and my fear is spending all this money for a chicken coop, and then my neighbors reporting me, and I have to take it all down. And I feel personally for this question.
Yes, I feel for her too.
Well, Ingrid, where are you from?
I'm from Long Island.
Oh, you don't really hear it, but yes, I can vouch for that.
Yeah. And I did have neighbors report me here
Oh,
in
that's
Raleigh.
right.
So, and somebody on Facebook, on YouTube also was asking about permits and permitting and things like that. And I think the important thing to do is do your own due diligence. So if you are not allowed to have a chicken coop where you are on Long Island and it will be seen by a neighbor, or feel out your neighbors, and see if you bring it up and say, what would you think if I got a chicken coop? Because that is the worst thing to do, is to invest in a chicken coop and in your time and your emotions into chickens and then have somebody report you. So my advice would be to see if you need a permit, see if they're allowed.
I know that a lot of people have preconceived notions about you getting chickens, and I think a picture of the beautiful chicken coop might help.
Yes.
I mean, maybe even go to your neighbor and say, I'm going to get chickens and I'm thinking about this coop or this coop. And then show them some pictures of beautiful coops. So it instantly imprints, into their head, okay, this is what we're talking about. We're not talking about some stinky commercial operation. So...
And also let them know that doesn't mean that you'll have roosters.
Right.
I don't think that people realize that you can have chickens that aren't really crowing.
Yeah, so I would think from that initial conversation to make sure that they have the right idea, the same idea that you have. But then again, I'm a big fan of...
I wasn't sure if we're going to get into it today and get an update what's going on.
I mean, not that, but it's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission, because I'm a huge proponent of property rights. And, do we need to ask our neighbor for permission to do something on our own property? So
Long Island. Long Island doesn't have HOAs.
Yeah.
But they do. It's broken up into so many little towns that they all have their own legislative entities. So it's difficult.
What is the secret to keep your neighbors happy?
Oh, it depends on your neighbor. Some neighbors...
No, just give them eggs.
No.
Yes.
I had a vegan neighbor. That's not going to work.
It doesn't work all the time, but I always tell people, just give them eggs.
And she got mad at me. She said I was forcing my hens to lay eggs. And I said, no, I'm just gathering what they leave behind. It's foraging. I get to forage in my backyard for protein.
So, feta cheese, thank you for that comment. The one thing I would add to it is if you do go through all this and it gets to the point that unfortunately you have to take your coop down, I can tell you we have had that situation happen, or people are upgrading. It is so easy to sell a coop.
It is.
And quite honestly, it's almost like used vehicles.
Right.
You can almost make money off of it.
She also asked if you can keep chickens and quails together in the chicken coop.
Chicken expert?
No. And the main reason for that is, well, if you're going to free range at all, those quails will not come back.
Why not?
They're not domesticated as much as chickens are.
It's almost like an excessive guinea. Guineas are kind of that way. There's a little bit of a middle ground there, especially if you train them. But there's so much to quail.
Yeah, you might have some exceptions, but generally, in my experience, those quail get out and it doesn't look good as far as
so they have to be
getting them back.
contained.
Yes, they have to be contained.
Yeah, and I shouldn't say there's so much to quail. It's just very different. They're actually very easy to keep.
It is pretty different, very different.
But it's fascinating that when you build their enclosure, you have to keep it either very low to the ground or very tall, because they are flighty birds and they can
crush their skulls on the roof.
Oh my gosh.
But quails are amazing. And I tell you, the fun fact about quail is I never knew this, and I did want to verify it. Speaking of things I never knew and I had to verify, my world was rocked yesterday. So let's make sure we get that out of the way. If you have an egg allergy, supposedly you can eat quail eggs.
I have heard that. I don't know if that's confirmed.
Kidding.
Yes.
And another side note is you can keep chickens and ducks together.
Yes. Oh, God knows we have customers do that all the time. And I can't wait. I was hoping when I came back from Santa Fe, I ended up flying back. I was going to drive and do a couple visits. Sean and AV finished up this huge Craftsman coop way down in McAllen, Texas. Customers very, very happy. They had some interesting stories. Yeah. I wanted to go down there, and I still might, and then follow up in Alabama. Speaking of Alabama, Nan, are you still there? She's been awfully quiet. She's probably on the phone. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about a potential coop coming up, but we're going to be going back. I wasn't sure if we're allowed to acknowledge the potential coop coming up to Alabama. I am going to be a little
I wouldn't.
Okay, I'm not going to. Another little teaser. I'm going to be a little starstruck when this happens, and actually thank him for the times that I won my fantasy football.
Okay. You don't tell me anything. by
All right.
the
Well,
way.
going back to feta cheese, though, I would say that you can make a little quail enclosure underneath the hen house, and that way you could keep them together, but they're not necessarily going to be mingling.
Would love to do it. I tell
Yeah.
you, quail are
You
there's
could
a
probably do a double decker, actually. Double decker underneath that.
and we've
underneath
talked
the
about,
hen
and I think
house.
maybe we've even done it with ducks. But here's the difficulty. I mean, look at this picture right behind you. Once you do a double decker, I mean, I'm all about making sure
Well,
it's
quail are very small, and they need a very small.
right. So we can have it where the whole thing even pulls out, and it's still extremely easy to clean.
And it is good to keep quail on wire too.
Oh yeah, I tell you, that's another very interesting point. All right,
They're-
so
they're
anyways,
just different.
moving on. We should have a quail expert come on because I tell you, I'm a
that would be
believer in
good.
the future of quail.
Yeah.
And then I can't wait. We finally have someone ready to. I really feel like I've invented the world's best goat house, and I can't wait to show that off. So we actually might have one out in the field soon. So if you're into goats or thinking about getting goats, give us a call. I tell you, I have built a goat house up in New York, and it worked beautifully, and it's so simple. But you never have to clean it. Anyways.
So Dee Dee's had her coop delivered in March. I think we know Dee Dee's coop. And she loves it, and she put her winter storm shields on. And they had lake effect snow last night, and the girls were nice and cozy, and the run was warm and dry.
I love that. I tell you, and being that it's this time of year, I cannot emphasize enough because I think there's a lot of confusion, and I try to simplify it as much as I can. When it comes to chickens in the winter, chickens in general, but let's focus on the temperature. Yes, it gets colder in the wintertime. The word is consistency. You do not want to heat your hen house. So what happens is when you put on the polycarbonate storm shields, it allows the run temperature and more importantly, block the wind chill, block the snow, block rain, and it makes it so that it's a consistent temperature from the hen house to the run. And the chickens just go down there. There's no drastic change in temperature. And it's just so nice for them. So, Dee Dee, thank you so much. It is just that simple. Would love it if you could send us some pictures. That would be fantastic.
We have some from her, but not of the storm shield. So we would love some with the storm shields and the snow around there, Dee Dee. So if you could send those, you can send it to me.
So I need to get this off my chest because I need people's thoughts and comments. We had a new plastic expert. I love experts. I love people that just know their stuff. This is all they do. And plastics, I tell you, it's an interesting world. And they came and visited yesterday. And we are always looking to improve our product. And the best way to improve the product is to improve the products that go into it, if you will. And of course, trying to be as cost effective as possible, bringing the price down without jeopardizing quality. And, why not be friendlier on the environment? I mean, that just makes sense. That makes everyone happy. We have, you see this? Check that out.
No, I haven't seen this.
This is high density polyethylene.
Oh.
It is a closed cell high density polyethylene. What's your first? I know it's probably been a while since you've handled other high density polyethylene. This is 50%, if not more, lighter. And it's actually less expensive without jeopardizing quality. So we're going to be actually changing to this closed cell high density polyethylene from what we use now. So that's going to help bring the price down. It's also uses less plastic, so it's greener. And it's lighter. And since it's lighter, it also makes it where I don't know how much of a savings is going to be on shipping, but the lighter we can get it, the better. But here's what this brought up. Look at this material right here. And this has come up recently. We're always looking to improve, again, every part. In this case, we're going to talk about the egg hutches. The high-density polyethylene we use inside the hen houses is white. Right. And it doesn't have to be white. I don't think the chickens care, but I think psychologically people like white because they want to think about keeping it clean or whatever. We have talked about using different colors. I said, no, people insist they got to have the white. I might change my mind inside the egg hutch. Because we have had customers say it is best, and I want to get your opinion on this, to paint the inside of the egg hutch because we want to make it cozy. And you want the chickens to feel safe. Well, their instincts, are to find that dimly lit, darker area. And I always wondered if painting the inside of the egg hutch, and our customers have acknowledged that, yes, it does help. So they say, but imagine if we switch to this material that is black and use this just for the inside the egg hutches. But here's the other thing. I do love high density polyethylene, but when it comes to the egg hutches, there's one thing I don't like, and that is it's slippery.
Yeah.
And notice, I'm not sure, you probably can't
I
see
have
on the camera,
No,
but
you can.
this has a texture to it. So I don't know.
Yeah, I
You
like
think-
that. I think
do.
that's a good idea.
So everyone out there, let me know what you think about that. And of course, for people who are like, oh God, Matt, I already have your Coop. Why do you got to keep doing this? We could just send you black high density polyethylene. Obviously, it would cost a little something, but just a little tidbit, not much, but a little something. And it occurred to me yesterday when he showed me the sample. I'm like, we should use black inside the
that
egg hutch.
texture is absolutely great.
I mean, ideally, it would be great if we can use black throughout the whole entire thing. It's gonna do the same thing, but psychologically, are people gonna think it's dirtier?
No,
They're not.
I wouldn't think so.
You'd be surprised. Let me know your thoughts out there on that. I have something else to talk about, but let's get back to a couple more questions and comments. Again, this show is for them, and I don't mind going over. We had a hell
I
of
have
a
a question.
Oh boy, there she is.
Will the dark color help or inhibit the deep littering process as a compost thing? Because all compost containers, most that I see that you can purchase, are black or dark brown.
I don't think it'll matter because it's inside the chicken coop. Those
Yeah.
might be dark because they would absorb the sun maybe
On
or
the outside.
warm up more, but it's not going to be exposed to the sun.
They're also trying to blend into the background
Right.
too.
The
And that
back
too.
hen house doors are polycarbonate on the American coop.
What? Oh.
Signing off now.
Okay.
So
Yeah, but it's covered by hemp, so I mean it's
Yeah.
not
No.
seen.
yeah, I hear you. That's an interesting question. I don't know. You guys really don't hear the clipping?
No.
I got it.
Might
I
be in
have.
your head.
I know it's definitely in my head. Anyways, so we get to talk about that. What else is going on?
We have another question.
Yes, fire away.
From
Oh yes, from
Lewis.
Houston, Texas.
Yes.
The Astros didn't win. I mean, I'm a Yankees fan, but I was really hoping the Astros would win. Houston, Texas. Here we
So
go.
she was asking, to help chickens in the excessive heat during the Houston summer, should I install a cooling unit in my coop? I don't have chickens yet, but I'm getting Brahma in February.
Oh, I think I talked to her.
That's a big chicken to start
Did
with.
I?
Such a beautiful picture too, by the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Great photo.
No, I do not add a cooling unit. I've never heard of a cooling unit. I'm sure that some people do.
Oh, we have.
Oh, yeah?
There's
Yeah.
the misters.
Oh, I was thinking of like a air conditioner.
I'm all about the misters. I tell you, we're gonna
you?
look into that soon. After New Mexico, I have.
But for chickens or for you?
It is so, both. It was so dry, and that's an interesting point. You
But
always
chickens don't have skin. They have feathers.
very true. However, well, we'll go back and talk about the misters because I tell you, even like this coop, I can see misters being a huge advantage because it was so dry out there. And I always tell people, you rather have a dry problem than a wet problem inside the run. But I can see it getting so dry inside that run. And luckily, again, you don't want to overload that, in this case, that run with chickens. Microbes need some moisture.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I thought, man, it'd be so cool. Just hit a button and all of a sudden it's like a mist system just to
Right.
help, but you don't want to add too much water because, again, then you have a much bigger problem. But cooling unit for the coop.
I don't know if misting water would cool chickens, though.
Yeah, no, right. But
Right,
what I was
right.
going to say is when you mentioned misting is it could benefit the soil and the microbes and breaking it down.
But for Houston summers, I don't think an air conditioner would be a good idea. I don't think a mister would be a good idea because you definitely don't want more moisture in that area.
And even a fan. That I find that chickens don't stay in the coop as long as they have nice, cool, dry places to go.
Boom. That's it. Think about what did
Right.
chickens do before coops were invented. They went to a cool, dry place. And one of the things they can do is go down into the soil
Yep.
where it's cooler. So that make sure they have the ability to do what they would do before coops were invented. So have a solid roof run, give them shade. That's number one. And don't put them on concrete. Don't put them on screen. Don't put them on sand. Don't put them on stone. Put them on the forest floor.
And they will dig down to do their dust bath, and that's going to cool them off. And they're going to dig down sometimes deeper than you might think to get to that cool soil. And they just do it naturally. You don't have to teach them. You just have to give them access to the ground.
Yep.
It's
So-
just that simple.
Yeah.
Don't overthink it. Ooh, Greg Morrow.
I know. We get this. I had one on my YouTube thing too.
Are we doing? We are absolutely doing YouTube chicken police. Are we not? Do we got it?
Yeah, we do. We can.
105.
What?
All right, Greg Morrow says, thoughts on roll-away nest boxes. Have you ever incorporated that feature into your standard coop? And we have not.
We have lots of thoughts. We have not, and there's a reason why we haven't. But I, for a while, have thought about how we could incorporate that. Because bottom line is, there's people that are going to want them.
Right.
And who am I to not sell something if they want it? My opinion, and I don't know if you agree.
I'm sure we agree.
We haven't disagreed on anything in a while. It is interesting when you and I disagree on chicken stuff, but you shouldn't have to have a roll-away nest box.
Right.
Period.
Right.
If you feel the need to have a roll-away nest box, I'm willing to bet you just have a lot of chickens compared to nest box ratio, and or you're not collecting the eggs quick enough, so you do increase the chances of them breaking. And if they do break, and then all of a sudden you start getting chickens that are egg eaters, you got big problems. Now, our customer out in Santa Fe, and I talked to you. Oh, no, never mind. I did not talk to you about this. I talked to our customer out in Santa Fe. She said she absolutely was able to break the egg eating habit without having to get rid of the chicken. It was quite interesting.
Did she use a wooden egg?
She started with a wooden egg,
Because I've done that.
and she would go down there and tell them no. And she swears up and down it absolutely worked. She did it. I believe her. You know, there was
Doesn't
so
even work on my children.
there was so many. I think it's her mic. You guys really don't hear that clipping?
No.
All right. Anyways,
I can yell
Yeah.
at my chickens and scold them, and they respond.
yeah. Isn't that interesting?
So
So
roll-away nest boxes, you would only need those for two reasons, and that's egg eating or
Dirty
messy, dirty eggs. And those issues are caused by two bad habits that chickens are not born with, but they've established over time. So rather than incorporate the roll-away nest box, you should prevent those habits in the first place, because once they establish, they're hard to break. But it is possible to break both of those.
Yep.
It is possible, but you're going to have to do a lot of hands-on management. So that's why it's not a standard in your chicken coops at this point, because it's really not necessarily necessary unless there's a bad habit.
Yeah, and if you follow instructions, or if you follow the coop to chicken ratio and things like that, it shouldn't happen.
all right. So I hope that helps. But I tell you, if anybody out there is interested, like Matt, I got to have roll-away nest boxes, call me, because I do want to make them. There is no reason why we can't make them and perfect them and make them perfect. My idea has been to have a combo, have a hybrid, where you can just have a floor that stays flat. It's a traditional nest box, and then if you want, you just tilt it. But it does change the door. I mean, and it changes the type of nesting
And
material
you
you
have
have.
to have some sort of reservoir for them to roll into.
Yeah, I tell you, it's complicated. But
Yeah.
I rather promote coops to people and let them know, don't overcomplicate it.
Yep.
And I don't want to be high and mighty about this. Both of
Go
those
ahead.
bad habits have happened to me. So it does happen. I mean, I don't want to shame anybody. I mean, it certainly is understandable.
Yeah, overall, I would say that
Currently, I don't have those, and it's so nice when you don't. It's
Yep.
so nice when all the eggs are clean, nobody's sleeping in the nesting box, and it's
Yep.
just so nice.
So Andrew asks about winterizing the coops, and he has. I still have to do mine in Wisconsin, and he wants to know if he should add light in the coop in the morning or the evening in the winter.
Wisconsin.
Well, light is a very good question.
Okay, first things first. It is football season. I tell you, being a Bears fan,
The Bears.
I am not a fan of the Packers. So as soon as I think of Wisconsin, I think of the Packers, and everyone in Wisconsin is a Packers fan. But Aaron Rodgers, bravo to you, brother. I tell you what, I have.
All right, can we talk about?
Yeah, I don't even know what
Yeah,
season
just
it
stop
is.
with the football. And
Oh
let's
my
go
gosh,
to the
I know I got people out.
adding light in the coop.
All right, so boy, touchy
So
subject there.
winterizing, I would definitely start with
I was trying to see if
water,
Ingrid would throw anything at me.
because water is the most important. So definitely make sure you've got some way to make sure that they have access to unfrozen water. So I would say heated water is the first thing that I would do for winterizing. Number 2 would be, I would say the keeping a dry material in there, like keeping the snow out if possible. And then, like they said, the light would be something that I've seen arguments on both sides about whether or not providing additional light is good for the chickens. We can debate that back and forth, but if you are, the light would come on earlier in the morning because you want them to have a gradual sunset so they can get to their roost and not have an automatic, like the lights turn out.
Oh my God.
Like,
You just opened up Pandora's box right
Yeah.
there.
But honestly, people add light because they want eggs during the winter, correct?
Right.
And don't the chickens really need to rest? I mean, isn't that what their bodies are made to do in nature?
if you're only going to keep them 3 or 4 years, maybe not.
Yeah.
I mean, if I can be honest about it. If you want chickens just for eggs and you're only going to keep them to their peak and then you're going to get rid of them, to get
Most
eggs,
people, I think, are
those-
going to keep them for a lifetime.
right.
And
a lot of people do.
I tell you, you do have that option, and I think options are good.
Right.
And you don't have to. I do find that people should give their chickens what they would normally happen before coops were invented. Right. But if you do want to continue to increase production, but I mean, there's so much more about winterizing, and we did talk about a little bit earlier is the word consistency. Don't heat your hen house. Yeah. Maybe next show we could go in depth about that because this has got to be a common thing that's coming up, and I know there's
there's a lot of heated systems on the market. Including yours?
Well, definitely for the water.
Yeah.
And I think ours is the best because it's just how much water it will hold. Mm-hmm. And you got the water bar system. It's just
set it and forget it.
People love it. We already had messages coming even this morning how people are their system fired up because it's getting cold and they absolutely love it. And also I was going to mention too in Wisconsin, a coop we did in Denmark, Wisconsin, she just reached out just saying, Matt, our coop is awesome. It's like 5 years old. She says they still love it. And that was the one where they had a bear try to get into it and clawed away at the trim, but was unable to get in there.
I have that. That was a YouTube question.
Well, it is. I tell you. So Ingrid did give us a. I'm not being.
All right. Well, why don't we do the chicken police and get to that question?
It is. Yeah. Finally, chicken police. So if you're in your car, I promise you're not getting pulled over. It is time for chicken police. One of my favorite things to talk about, where we have people on YouTube commenting, and I am glad to report that 99.999% of people thumbs up and just compliments. I can't thank you guys enough, but as we all know, squeaky wheel gets the grease, and we're gonna grease up the squeaky wheel here for a little bit. And I tell you, I even noticed some comments, but I've been pretty good, right, Ingrid?
You've been good.
I have not commented, especially after 5 o'clock and I start drinking. But boy, there's a couple times I wanted to.
I can't even find that question that they were. So yes, in the Michigan coop, Susan had said, so no likelihood of a bear ripping through the hardware wire on the sidewalls. Trust me, that would not hold up. Bracing halfway up would be reinforcing.
We've seen it. It works. Here's the thing about bears. If they really, really, really wanted to get in there, I would say they probably could. But boy, they're going to have to be persistent. But I can tell you what happens in reality. Bears are actually lazy.
Almost all predators are opportunistic.
I was just going to say they're opportunistic feeders. And I don't want to get people going, oh, they're predators, they're carnivore. Yes, but bears, what I have seen is they love to go after the chicken feed. Mm-hmm. As soon as we showed up in Santa Fe, again, I got this all on video. I don't know if Ingrid saw this. Before we even walked down to their pad, I looked over at their beehives. I said, are you guys setting that up? And they looked over and they just drove them all the way from California. They go, oh my gosh, a bear tipped them over. Yeah. And, going after the honey, and then their bird feeders were knocked down. I said, hey, you got a bear here. We've seen it. We've seen it where, the bears don't get in. And I would have to say they're being lazy, and the coop did its job.
Yeah, and I think when people think of hardware cloth, they don't realize that the one thing that you do is how you attach it is what makes it so strong. Mm-hmm. It's not just a question of a good gauge.
Yeah,
hardware
our,
cloth.
our standard hardware cloth has a tensile strength of like 1,400 pounds, if I remember correctly. But I don't care if you're attaching chain link fence to your run. It's all about how you attach it. And that's what makes it extremely strong.
Yep. Okay, so someone said about the windows that you have that swing out, like in the Michigan Coop. Now that the okay, so they asked if they would catch water if it was raining, and would water sit on there?
I tell you, the world of Evan just walked in. Evan's down along with AV down. They got in last night. I tell you, the world of chicken coop windows and doors is a nightmare. And God knows we have come a long ways. And I can tell you, like our windows on our American coop, and I think someone asked recently,
Yep,
is the
just this week.
polycarbonate on the inside or outside? We started putting it on the inside for aesthetics, but you got to have it on the outside. You do not want to trap water. And because of how big the window frame is on the American, we definitely had to put the poly on the outside, solve that problem. On the doors on the Michigan coop, there's not a lot of room for water to get trapped. So it's never been an issue. So I tell you, it's a combination between function, of course, with aesthetics. And I'm glad to say it's never been an issue on that particular Carolina coop, Craftsman coop style. But it's something you always got to think about. You want water to come and go, no matter what it is.
Yep.
Right. So, there was another comment that said, "What the hell happened to this guy? His beard looks terrible. He looks like Moses on crack."
Yeah, explain that one to me.
Is that why you got a haircut?
No, and that's what Nan said. I didn't
Wait
see
a minute.
that.
You
You know, this isn't funny, Evan.
Oh, yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, we're going to put Evan in front of the camera.
Oh, no wonder you got on that Harley and went to the barber shop.
No, I saw that comment after. Okay, whatever. I don't care. But I was damn proud of that beard.
You grow a nice beard.
Thank you.
Hey, the women loved it. There was all these comments that they loved it. So.
I didn't know that
Yeah,
part.
on that
So
video.
should I grow it back out?
Well, it is winter.
I tell you, the beard drives me crazy. And the only reason why it was that long is I was being lazy. And even like I just finally got it trimmed up. It was long. And you'll see that in the Santa Fe walk around. I just didn't get around to it. I hate it. I hate it when you got to wear that, the mask or whatever. Well, thank you, Crackhead Moses. I don't know what a Crackhead Moses is, but that should be my new screen name.
I think it's because you talk fast.
I do talk fast. I have learned to try to slow down.
That's okay.
Have I done better? Same thing with when I eat.
I can't even. Somebody said nice coupe, but a starting price of $35,000. I think I'll pass.
Okay, which coop is this?
I guess it was the Michigan coupe.
So I don't even know what their price was.
No,
I
I
don't
don't
know
know.
if
It
that was a
wasn't-
starting price.
Yeah. No, I think what they did is they went to our Craftsman Coupe page and kind of plugged in some things. But that's not necessarily the price of that coupe.
I tell you, it does drive me nuts when people don't see the value. No, they don't understand why customers would purchase an expensive chicken coop because it's over the top. I love over the top. Why not offer over the top? But look at the same thing. How many people compliment us verbally on the work we go through with producing a coop that is well built, keeps the chicken safe, healthy for an extremely affordable price. But our sales say otherwise. So again, I can't thank our customers enough. But you know what I mean? Verbally, they're not very seldom, if at all, people are like, man, that's a great design. I guess people just don't realize.
Yeah, it's to each his own, right? Because I don't understand why people would spend so much money on a purse. Like
Exactly. Or shoes.
Yeah, I mean, I have the same purse that my sister bought in 1985. So
That is a true story.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe when you told me that.
so to each his own.
So, and here's the other thing too. For video chicken, there's a couple things I want to mention. For YouTube, all right? I did a good job in the last walk around video. I think you'll appreciate it. If you are going to give me a thumbs down, which is fine, you got your right to your opinion, please tell me why. It drives me crazy, these people that put a thumbs down and they don't tell me why. And then Karen, have we heard from Karen?
No, we weren't going to hear from Karen. You know that.
I think we will on the walk around with the Santa Fe Coop. I even asked Karen, you know who you are. Give us a call.
Hey guys,
Yes.
I have one of our customers that just called in. He's watching, and for whatever reason, his question won't go through on YouTube. So he just called in, and I think we just got disconnected on the phone, but I can reconnect him real quick. He has some fall chicken integrating questions.
I just wrote a blog on that.
Nice. And you know what? That reminds me. You know what we need to do?
Can I get him on the air even if it's through my mic?
So I was just going to talk about that. And it's been bothering me when we started Radio Chicken. The whole idea is I wanted people to be able to call in. So we absolutely can still do that. I would almost prefer that if we could do that next Friday. And
Next Friday is the day after Thanksgiving.
no, geez. So are we not going to do the show on Black
I'm
Friday?
not available.
Why not?
It's I'm not available.
God, I wish I had that on camera.
Okay, all right.
What do you want?
But it's,
I would say we
viewing
could.
audience.
Why don't we take that call, but at the end of the show? Why don't we cover the rest of our points and?
Okay, if you're okay with it, because
Yeah.
you're the one that's like,
I'm here
I got to get
anyhow,
going.
so,
Yeah,
right?
I know. That's
Like,
another reason why I
I'm
love that
stuck
you're.
here
I
working.
love it. So now you can't. I got to go. Yeah. Ingrid, though, we got lots to go over with Ingrid. All right, so
Or yeah, bring them in. I mean,
I was
this
gonna say
won't take
send
too
them a
long.
link, bring them in. That's one of the things I wanted to get back to is I wanted customers to be able to, or whomever, viewers to be able to call in just like we did with Radio Chicken. I just thought that was a lot of fun. It's great to hear the customer's voice or the viewer's voice or whatever.
Yeah, people get tired of seeing us.
I think that's him coming back in. Hold on.
Okay.
I mean, we can go ahead and try that too if she wants to put the phone up to the
I'm
mic.
gonna send Non the link so she can send it to him if she wants.
All right. But you are correct. We definitely need to get back to because we don't
I'm
do
on
a
the
good job. We
clock,
get
no
side.
matter what.
Yes. Oh, that's right. Wait a minute. I wonder if this is costing me more or less now. Now
It
that you
might
are
be
hourly.
less.
Did I show
It's
you?
definitely less.
Here's the other thing I wanted to talk about, and I
Talk
did.
about him. Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna get back to some questions or comments, but I tell you, the world of hemp.
It's kind of a pain in your ass, isn't
It
it?
is such a pain in my ass. We even had someone,
a lot of drama, too.
and maybe you can bring up someone. And again, I'm grateful. I'm grateful if you're going to critique us, criticize it. Please let us know because oh, you got it right there. Is that
Yeah,
it?
Non printed it out for us.
Oh, so it's a valid point, and I tell you where I guess I just take it so personal. I'm like, God, I wish people knew what goes on behind the scenes that we try to avoid comments like what we're probably just about to talk about. And I just want, I shoot for everyone to be 100% happy. The world of hemp is so complicated and difficult. You wouldn't think it, but we are doing everything we can to make it so that the hemp can be more affordable because the price I think is ridiculous, quite honestly, even though I know, yes, hemp is great. It lasts a very long time. You save money in the long run. There's great things about hemp, but I still feel like it's getting more and more expensive, but so is everything else. And I'm not a fan of just raising our prices just because everything else is going up.
It's terrible we have to get it from France.
Yes.
That just logically.
But I do it because the company in France is phenomenal.
yeah.
But it's just not catching up in America yet. And it's scary. It's like, what the hell's taking so long? Canada is slowly getting there. Either way, I have talked to a lot of companies in Canada, and I tell you, I worry about their promises, and that's why I still buy it from Europe. I think they're slowly getting there, and I tell you, this product right here, look how much larger it is. So I think we're going to bring some of this in and start selling it and pay close attention to it. So if people are interested in some hemp that has a much larger particle, like you see here,
When are you going to get that?
that's a whole nother story.
Okay.
Yes,
Because I'd like to test that.
You like to test it? If I had people out there that want to test it, and there's a very good chance it's going to be even more affordable. I'm not going to put out exact prices right now, but quality and make sure you guys see the value. So that's going to be coming up soon. I want and he might even be watching, and I hope he is. I want my current person that we buy the hemp from. I don't know what they're doing. If I was in the hemp business, I'd be pounding down people's doors to get it locally and not just settle to keep buying it from Europe. So, alrighty. I don't know.
But some of
Sorry.
some of the feedback was that we were referring to a few minutes ago is someone's hemp got moldy. They were keeping it in a greenhouse. So we want to mention when you do buy the hemp, yes, it's sealed, but you want to keep it somewhere fairly cool and dry.
Yeah, so we did, I thought, such a great job making these cardboard boxes, doing all the hemp logo art. The one thing we did not put on the package, the one thing we did not put on the box is store in a cool, dry place. Yeah. Never even crossed my mind. All those hours we spent talking about that, and we had someone store it in a greenhouse.
Also, I think another thing that Non brought up is, if possible, add it to your Coop order. I know sometimes it's not available, but if possible, add it at that time, because if you try to add it later, it's going to be a lot more expensive to ship.
Overall, it is a lot more expensive, yes.
Yeah.
I think I'm crushing you at the overalls right now.
I didn't know it was a competition.
Everything was supposed to be overall. It's overall day. Anyways.
Overall, that was so unfair.
So, I mean, it is 118. I think that if we can go to 130, I want to get through the questions and comments, and I do want to, especially if we have a customer with questions. So Black Friday. Will you be here? Should we do a show Black Friday?
I don't shop, so.
That's right, you don't. You don't like the mall. You won't be here?
No, because I have other family stuff on Thanksgiving.
That's understandable.
I guess all I do is work.
Thanksgiving is just really low key for us this year. I mean, it's just me and my sister and the kids.
Everything apparently is low key for me. So I think at this point we can definitely do the show next week. And I'm so glad Facebook came on. All right, so let's get through the questions and comments, whatever else is left, and then.
Okay. So. Jared asked if you decided against using the acre sheets, because we did talk about that, and I was going to bring that up, and you did have the guy on the show, and
you talked that up big. What's going on?
Yeah, why?
Where was that comment?
Further down, right? You just passed it.
Okay, if you can bring that up. We talked a lot about that yesterday when I met with the plastic expert. And here's the deal. I love that acre product. The price is just outrageous. That all was triggered at that point, if you remember, we couldn't find plywood, or plywood went from, if it was $20 a sheet, all of a sudden it's $120 a sheet. And we never once raised our prices on our customers. We absorbed all that cost, and thank God lumber has come down. But at the same time, it was just really hard to justify that acre product. And if we did use the acre product, it was going to eliminate the high density and the deep litter, because it would serve both purposes. And I just want to make sure if we can get it to the point where it's going to be, that it makes sense financially, that it doesn't increase the price on the Coop, because that's what I don't want to do. But I also don't want to change the efficacy of our Coops, especially the deep litter system. The plastic expert that we have started buying from down here in North Carolina, they have a very similar product that is a little bit more affordable. So I'm just verifying the technical data. So it is still on the books. I can tell you that hopefully very soon, when we have the full-on kit, I think that's when we're going to introduce it. It's just a huge domino.
Or you can test it here at your facility in the chicken yard.
Yes, now that you are here working every day, I'm going to put you in charge of that.
All right.
And I see Mike Mueller, it's a tough name to say, likes the black. Yeah, let me know what you guys think, if you guys like that black. White is better to detect mites. That's a good point. See? Dang, that's a good point.
Can you really see mites?
I don't.
Oh, absolutely.
In the nesting material?
Yeah.
Well, of course.
I haven't seen it.
I've never seen them.
What, are you kidding me? You never seen mites?
Mine's not white in the nest.
Oh, is that the new one? Oh, I like the bug guy.
Oh, you said you wanted it to be this.
Matt used to be an exterminator.
I've seen a lot of mites in my day. Absolutely, you can see them. You got to know what you're looking for. And of course, there's going to be different colors. That's an interesting point. We
can look it up to see are they visible?
Very visible.
Well, I think they're not usually visible because they hide in the cracks, the crevices, or on the chicken. So you don't see them out and about in the middle of the nesting box on the high density. That's just not where they're going to be, right?
Right, or even if we were to use the black material for the deep litter system.
Right. They wouldn't be out there in a visible place anyhow.
Right.
So I don't think it would really matter. But you know what mites like to do because you're a bug guy.
Matt used to be an exterminator.
So you absolutely can see them. And I tell you, that would be something that would be awesome when we have Dr. Crespo come back on. But I can tell you there are different species of mites, and you can see them. They're not invisible. And you just got to know what you're looking for. And some will come out at different times. Some are going to be, on the host constantly. But like roost mites come and go. They're just like bed bugs.
Yeah.
But they're nocturnal. So I tell you, I'm going to give that one a yay. That is a great point. You will have a much harder time seeing them on black high density.
I don't think it matters. Because you're not going to see them hanging out on the middle of that high density product. They're gonna be hiding in the cracks and crevices and corners and on the chicken where you're not gonna be able to see them.
And that is all very true.
So it doesn't really matter.
Gosh, good stuff. Anyways,
We disagree.
Oh yeah, that was.
I don't know if I disagree. I'm just saying it's a very, very good point.
It is a good point, and I had to think it through.
And I'm still thinking it through.
We could be here for a while.
Yeah.
So Lisa said, late to the party, but I'm here. We're finally putting our coop together now. So far, only one tiny little correction made. Otherwise, going together so easy.
Awesome. Well, that's good to know. I would
It
love
is
to
good
know
to
what that
know.
little correction made.
Well, Lisa, she commented, we'd like to know what coop you got and what correction that you
I'd
had.
like to know how long it takes. I know that's a difficult question.
I tell you, I just got off the phone with a customer down in Lakeland, Florida. And she is putting together a 6x8 penthouse coop, American style, and is crushing it. And she's got to be 70, 80 years old, all by herself. Sweet,
Wow.
so sweet. Such a super nice lady. And I just was like, wow, that is awesome.
Those balls are heavy. It's hard to.
She's a badass.
Yeah.
I just thought that was awesome. But yes, I'm kind of curious. But everyone kind of either goes at their own pace, but when they try to rush it.
That's why it's hard to tell, because if you do it, a few hours here, a few hours there, you're not really keeping track of that.
When are the logo cups going to be available? Hopefully very, very soon. The gentleman that was making these cups, he's got COVID. And his whole family has COVID, and they are very sick. We are hoping to have more mugs made. But I can tell you, we will have the merch store soon. I have to slowly introduce that into Ingrid's world, because she's like, what? You didn't tell me that either, Matt.
I know. I heard your live show the other day, so the little live feed you did.
Why didn't you comment? Why didn't you let me know you're there?
I didn't. It was after.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yes, aren't these mugs great? And there is green. You just don't see the green because of the green screen. Well, I think they're great. Okay, thanks for leaving me hanging on that one.
Oh, and Greg Morrow says take the time off, folks.
Yep.
Yes, you go ahead, Ingrid. You can have the day off.
Well, I didn't think I was asking your permission.
Can't wait till Ingrid's a W2.
Oh, so Lisa has a 6x18, so that's a big coop.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's a nice coop.
Yes.
Wonderful.
So I wonder what the correction was. So if you let us know, Lisa,
Yes. We learn so much from our customers. I don't care what it is.
because Matt thinks they all go together easy peasy, and everybody has a air compressor, and we don't.
Yes, that was the other thing I wanted to
I
bring
know.
up. We talked about it a little bit. I don't know if I want to. That might be something I don't want to disclose yet.
Yeah.
I think it's a fabulous idea,
We
and
talked about it before.
I love to hear what my customers think, because I think it's an awesome idea. And of course, I know what I'm going to end up doing. I'm going to give customers the option.
To include a air compressor with their order?
I'm just waiting for Non to chime in, because they hate the word option.
So Lisa says it takes time depending on what sort of base you have to make or build before you even get started. Like
That's true.
you really need to get the prep where you
And that's something they
building
can
it.
do while they're waiting, for sure.
Oh, they do.
That takes time.
She's on the phone.
Oh, I was going to say Non's being very quiet.
We like the word standardization.
Not sure if you guys heard that. Evan just walked in. He likes the word standardization. Yeah, standardization is simple, but I tell you, options, I love options.
I like wiggle room.
I would think most people, I must just be naive. I would think everyone owns an air compressor,
Nope.
but apparently they don't. But if it brings the price down on the chicken coop, or allows us to not have to increase the price, that's what I should be saying, because prices are going up everywhere. But if I see an opportunity to make things where I don't have to increase the price and it's going to make us smarter and in this case better. If a customer has the ability to attach their screen like we do it, which is in my opinion way faster, easier, it's a lot of fun.
I would pay for it.
That's what I need to know.
Especially when you equate it to, okay, it's going to save you 4 hours or whatever the number is.
Oh my God, it would save you a whole day. Would you rather pound 1,500 nails?
Yeah.
No, but I think it's a great point you're making. I'm just saying your assumption that everyone has an air compressor is wrong.
Well, he doesn't make that assumption because he assumes otherwise and ships out the Coops as if they don't, right?
Correct. What Ingrid and I have talked about is trying to figure out what level do we extend it to, where I've been thinking about that we allow the customer, I mean, they pay for it with the Coop, but it should be the same price, but we're going to make it easy for them if they don't have an air compressor to be able to purchase that air compressor.
By partnering with a local store.
Yes.
To get one.
That's exactly it, along with the gun.
Right.
The staple gun. But your kit will include the specialized stainless steel staples, which are a must. Yeah. But it's so much easier to put the screen on. I don't want to say it's better because we've done some tests and nailing it on is pretty damn good as well. But when it comes to time, I would never want to do it.
I just bought the same gun you use.
Yeah, truth be told, one of the reasons why I haven't done the step-by-step video on how to put these Coops together is I would have to hammer in all those nails. I don't want to.
You do the time lapse or something.
Yeah.
You
Anyways.
cut to.
And Lisa, just tag us when you post those pictures on Facebook. That would be great. That way we can make sure we see them.
I just built a Coop, so I understand all this pain right now. The painting, the staining, the stapling.
Yeah, how hard can it be?
Yeah, it took me 2 months. And that was when I was unemployed, so.
Yeah.
Or underemployed.
Now you'll never be again. If Matt has his way.
Oh, wait, did I see triangle area?
Yeah.
What is that?
So somebody's moving. Wait, where is it? In 1 to 2 years, I will have a piece of land for myself somewhere here in the triangle area. And there will be chickens. And they will have a Carolina coop for their home. And my goats will need a home too.
Yes, Melissa, call us. Oh my gosh, I am a huge goat fan.
Mainly I would love to have goats.
Oh, goats.
Maybe I'll get goats.
Goats are amazing for, pasture control, vegetation. They're not as I tell you, I had so many people tell me that they're a pain in the butt. They are not. Just like I've had people tell me, oh, chickens are a pain in the butt. It's you got to have the right setup. And again, when it comes to goats, I did a bunch of research and I learned a lot from a gentleman on YouTube in Africa. Mm-hmm. And I tell you, this guy, he reminded me of me, where he just emphasizes the basic instincts of goats, what comes natural. And over here in the western part of the world, in America, we overcomplicate things for our convenience, but it's not real hard to figure out how to make it perfect for the animal and for you. And in this case, we got a goat house that you don't ever have to clean, but it can also be passive solar. You do need to make sure they can stay comfortable during the winter. And it worked for our goats up in New York.
I think that's it on questions, I think.
All right, perfect. Right at 1:30.
Well, do we have that guy calling in? Or?
He would have, I gave him the link.
Okay.
I didn't see him in the interview.
Well, maybe we can do it next week.
Yeah, I mean, that is something I want to do. I want people to have the ability that if you want to come on, and you don't have to come on visually, but even just to be able to ask your question like you're on the phone, all you got to do is let us know. We can send you a link, bring you on. And if you want to come on camera, especially, that was also part of the original idea, is I want people to be able to take, you can watch the show right on your smartphone, turn your camera on, and maybe go to your coop and show us what you got going on. Right. Again, this show is for you guys, and I learn a lot from every comment, good or bad, from the customers. And hope that it's entertaining. I think Ingrid's saying she's got to go. All right, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I am happy to be back. Kristen, welcome aboard full-time now. Ingrid, I'm glad you are better. Thank you for being here. And I think you and I can do a show next Friday.
Yeah.
And then Ingrid's just going to have the day off. Ingrid will have the listening pleasure.
Oh, okay.
All right, guys. We'll see you next Friday. Take care. Have a good weekend.
The button here.